Will Young is an artist from the UK who has released his new track called My Love. Stick around to hear my thoughts. So Will Young, who was a winner of Pop Idol in the UK back in 2002, is prepping to drop his 7th new album called Lexicon. I didn't actually realise he'd had so many albums. I've followed Will's career kind of on and off over the years, but I was really surprised that he's on his 7th album already, so congratulations. His second single is called My Love. So to me, Will's always typically released more pop-related tracks with the occasional dance track thrown in. And I think he's good at both, by the way. The thing that's clear from this new track called My Love from the outset is it's more of an upbeat pop track, and it's given me those Echo vibes. So back in 2011, Will Young released a pop/electro pop album called Echoes. And this track called My Love would really fit well with that album. And I'll talk a little bit more about Echoes in a second, but it's very clear that it could fit into that style of music. Now with Echoes, like I said, it was a pop/dance/electro album. For me, it was heavily inspired by the Pet Shop Boys. I'm not sure if Will Young's ever mentioned that in an interview or ever alluded to that fact, but when I listen to a lot of tracks from Echoes, I Just Want a Lover, things like that, it's really given me that Pet Shop Boys vibe. So and that sound, and for me that album is timeless. You know, when you listen to the Echoes album, it sounds like it could have been released yesterday or back in the 80s or the 90s. It's very timeless in terms of how it sounds, and I think I personally think it's a classic album, being very honest, and it's one of my favourite ever albums, so certainly check it out if you're into pop music. But as I said, this track called My Love would fit right in with that, and I think it's really what Will Young at his best. I think he has a very smooth and distinctive voice, and part of this means that he doesn't have to try so hard with his vocal ability. And that's not to say that Will can't sing, because he certainly can, but I think because his voice is quite distinctive, it almost brings some of his personality to the music, so it's interesting to listen to him singing his lyrics or singing the music. One thing that I really like about Will Young, and I've kind of listened out for this for quite a while, is the fact that because he's gay, he purposely gender neutralizes his music. So he never talks about he or she. It's very much you, your. It's just gender neutral, which I really like. I think it makes his songs a lot more relatable, and it means that he isn't really pushing his sexuality into people's face. I think when you think of artists like Todrick Hall, RuPaul, any kind of gay or drag artist, straight away if they're saying he, him, it can exclude a certain audience or a certain listener, and obviously you want to try and get the most commercial success, and obviously making it as inclusive as possible. So I think Will does a really great job with that. But I think the fact, because I know he's gay, I visualize his love of being a man, and I think in videos, from what I can remember, he does have a lot of male love interests as well, so he has it from that perspective. But from his audio and his lyrics, it's very much about it's very gender neutral. From a production point of view, the track is very current. It's kind of what's being played on the radios at the moment, in terms of it's a pop song with dance elements thrown in. The piano picks up the melody, and it's got some vocal effects which kind of keep things current, but I think it all blends very well with Will's voice. As I mentioned before, he does very well with pop and dance tracks, so I wasn't surprised at all that he was able to carry this song very well. I've not been able to locate a video for the song yet. I'm curious to see what he does with this. Will's videos have always been quite interesting to watch, and they often remind me of dreams. They're quite theatrical, and oftentimes there's something happening in the videos that's always a bit off key, or something that doesn't really make sense until you watch it a few times. So I'm quite curious to see kind of what he does with the video on this track. I'm also really looking forward to the album. Releases in June. I think it's the 21st of June, I think, but don't quote me on that, but it releases in June. I think given the first two singles, have been quite pop dance related. I'm quite excited to kind of see where he goes with Lexicon, and I'm hoping it takes on more of an Echoes vibe, as I mentioned before. His last album, 85% Proof, wasn't really my thing. It was still pop, but it was more of a classic pop sound, and I just think it was a little bit boring for Will Young, if I'm honest. I think given the fact he did so well with Echoes, I'm hoping he's going back to that style and that sound of music, and as I said, from the 2 singles he released so far, it sounds like he is. So let me know what you think of the track below. Have you heard it? If you have, what do you think? Also, don't forget to like this video, share it, and hit the subscribe button. Thanks for listening, guys, and I'll speak to you next time. Bye.